Give up woman to everyone. Today it's time to take it on the swolmy side for just a little bit because we're going to be looking at ScreamTracker. This is going to be just a little introduction video in how to use ScreamTracker. If you don't know what ScreamTracker is, you'll probably find out. I will go ahead and run the program. This is version 3.21 of ScreamTracker that I'll be showing you. So you run it with ST3. And here we go. This is the initial startup screen. You'll note this program is from the mid-90s. It has a copyright date of 9394, made by Sami Tammelehto, who was also known as Psy, or Psy spelled PSI, part of Finland's legendary Future Crew demo group. Yes, this was pretty much the tracker program, or at least the DOS tracker program. On the Amiga there were other popular trackers, but yeah, folks, this was it. This was the pinnacle of tracking excellence on MS-DOS. Seriously. Alright, so I'll go ahead and press any key to start the program, and here we go. Here we are. This is basically a tracker roll. So let's go ahead and I'm going to press Control L. That's the keystroke to load a file, and you can see you can load STM, S3M, or mod files. I'll go to the folder here where I put these mod files. This is a small selection of mods from Star Control 2, which is arguably one of the best games for mod files ever made. It has some excellent mods in it. I'll go and load the standard Starbase Commander mod. Loading. There we go. Alright, it's loaded. So this program has 4 main screens, which you can switch among using F1 through F4. So pressing F1 gets you here. This basically shows you the orders, which you'll see lined up here on the left-hand side. And order is kind of like a measure in music, I guess. It's kind of like one measure of music. You can think of it that way, I suppose. F2 takes you here. This is probably the main, this is where you do most of your work if you are going to be creating stuff with ScreamTracker. F3 gets you here. This is the instrument list, and F4 is just the instrument library. Speaking of Finland, by the way, this is supposed to be a list of the instruments that are used in the mod, but the person who made this mod didn't put the actual instrument names. He put his contact info. This was made by Riku Nuottajärvi. And yes, it is Järvi, not Jarvi. He didn't put the umlauts over his A, but it is supposed to be an A and not just an A letter. Anyway, so yes, Riku Nuottajärvi was actually one of the original composers for Star Control 2. He also worked on The Horde, which was also made by Toys for Bob. And I don't know if he actually made this mod file or if this mod file is just credited to him, but there you go. You can actually see Riku's contact info. He's from Oulu. Terve. All right. Let's see. So I guess we should probably show you how to get help in this program now that you know how to switch between the 4 screens. Press F10. That gives you context-sensitive help. It shows you help for the current screen that you're on. So for example, F1 screen's help looks like this. F2, this screen actually has 3 pages of help. You press F10 to cycle through them. So you get 3 whole pages of help. That's quite a bit. Other keys, Shift F9 gives you this configuration screen, which I guess is, you know, I'm not going to worry about that too much. Pressed Escape. Get my back here. All right. Let's see what else. All right, let's go ahead and start playing the track. So you press F5 to play the track. Instrument number 4 is Finland. Awesome. All right, so that's the track playing, and press F8 to stop the track. F8 stops the track. And if you want to selectively turn instruments on or off, you press Alt F1 through F. Well, let's see. This has the first 4 instruments. Like, for example, if I want to turn on instrument 4, I press Alt F4. That turns off instrument 4. Now if I press Alt F4 again, turns it back on like that. Also, see these kind of things on the right-hand side? You press page down and page up to cycle through them. It's like, for example, here you see a 5-tracker view. There's an 8-tracker view. Again, I'm pressing page down to cycle through these. 18-track view. For some reason, channel scope and S-output scope are not available. I'm not sure why. This is the note spectrum, basically a bar graph kind of frequency analyzer thing. This is just a different representation of basically the same idea. And here you can see the actual raw values that are being fed to the tracker. It's pretty awesome in my opinion. I think this is a great place to geek out and just watch these numbers scroll by. But I digress. Let me go ahead and turn that off for a second. most of your work, if you're composing, again, will probably be done from here, the F2 screen, so I'll go here. And right off the top, if you want to change your instruments, see it indicates here what instrument you're using up at the top. You press the less than and greater than signs. So hold down Shift and punch the comma and period keys. So this is instrument 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, it looks weird because he didn't put instrument names, but those are the actual instrument sounds in this mod. This track goes all the way to instrument 10, if I remember right. So let's go ahead and sample all the different instrument sounds real quick. You can actually insert notes here. See how these are all blank? The dots indicate there's no note there. You can actually create a note. Most of the letter keys on your keyboard will actually create a note. So if I press Q, instrument 1 is that kind of sound. So I'm pressing different keys on the keyboard and it creates different tones. So now I should probably explain exactly how this tracker roll works. Basically, the first letter here, like see there are these C's, D's, E, and F's. What you can probably guess is those are the actual notes. Those correspond to actual musical notes. The number after the dash is the octave. So like this is just a regular straight C in the 4th octave. This is a G sharp in the 3rd octave, etc. And in the second column here, this number indicates the instrument number. Remember, we're using instrument 1 with just that sound. So if I want to switch to instrument number 5, let's say, makes a different sound, and it shows instrument number 5. So there you go. And this is pretty standard. If you ever use any other tracker program, you'll want to understand how to read a track roll. This is basically it. First column is the note. Second, number after that is the octave, and then after that a number indicating the instrument. And that's pretty much it. That's basically how. That is a pretty standard layout across most module trackers. So if you didn't know, now you do. Awesome. So each of these rows is basically one note. Like, see, it starts at row 0. That's basically one position in the track. You can think of that as one note or one beat of the song. So if I go back up and here I put a C4, so that's basically one C4 note. And I can change that and put in, now I change it to an E3, which is obviously somewhat lower. But that's basically it. So again, each of these is like one note, and the order, see here you can, it shows you what order you're on. An order is like one measure. So it cycles through all the rows, and when it hits the bottom, I think this track has 60-something rows in it, then it goes to the next order. So that's, again, an order is kind of like a measure in music. And if you want to choose what order you're on, press F1 to go to the order selection screen, and this track appears to have, this track appears to have 45 orders, if I'm reading that right. So, so there you go. So if I want to choose order 10, I just go there and then go to press F2, and see now we're on order 10. So I'll start with order 0 because that's obviously the beginning of the track, and I'll just go, I've already inserted some random garbage. It's probably not going to sound very good, but okay, let's go ahead and quickly sample all the instruments. So instrument 1 sounds, it's that kind of beat. Instrument 2 doesn't appear to have any sound. Ooh, awesome. A little short note. Kind of a break beat or whatever you want to call it. Low bass sound. Doesn't appear to have any sound either. That whooshing sound or whatever it is. And then your basic kind of snare drum sound. Alright, this is really going to sound terrible, but let's go ahead and play the track and see what it sounds like. Come on. What? Why is it not playing that? I must have done something wrong. Hold on. G. Oh, I must have put it in the wrong order or something. Okay, when you're on the screen, you choose an order, and then you press the G key to go to that order. I must have accidentally tapped in the wrong order. Okay, I'm almost out of time, so let's just go ahead and see what this sounds like. Wild. Okay, real quick, I want to also show. See on the right-hand side these .00 things. Basically what that is, if you look at the very first help screen here, those are special commands. You can enter in all these weird effects and things that impact how the track sounds. So like, let's see, T is tempo. So I'm going to go ahead and let's change that real quick. Let's go down here, and at row 20, let's change T. Let's make this FF. It's in hexadecimal, so that'll make it the fastest. It's probably going to be pretty fast now. All right, let's try that. See? It's way fast now. All right. Okay. All right, that's it. That gives you an idea, I think, of how to get started. Oh, and press Control Q to quit. Control Q, quit, yes. Press Y for yes. All right, that's it. All right, that has been kind of a whirlwind introduction to ScreamTracker. I'm sorry it was so quick. Obviously, you know, there's a limited amount of stuff that you can cover in 10 minutes, but that's it for now. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want me to do another video showing off more stuff, I can try. Just let me know. I'll be happy to try and accommodate you folks. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you later. Bye-bye for now.